Glad to be back home in Troy, Alabama this morning. It's always fun to come home. Hadn't been home in a while.
I know it. I mean, it's a cool Friday. I'm telling you, if you haven't been out there with that wind, it's pretty brisk.
Yeah, we're heading to Birmingham after the show, and it's gonna be, I think, 43 tonight as the low, and then
exactly
30s are supposed to be coming in after that. I think after the weekend.
I was going to try to get up with my weatherman this morning and find out exactly how cold it is out there. Let's see what we can find out right here real quick.
Who's your weatherman?
Well, he was up just a while ago, and hopefully he'll come on right now. Let's see if we got him right here.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized.
Okay, we'll do it right here. We're going to find out what this weather is.
I can do that on my phone in 2 seconds.
All right, we'll do it to find out exactly how cold it is this morning.
WTBS, this is Stephanie.
What kind of temperature do we have out there, Stephanie?
What kind of temperature? 48 degrees.
Is that out at the airport or in town?
Right here. That's right here in downtown.
Well, I tell you what, it's cold, isn't it?
It is a little chilly, a little windy.
All right, thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.
And that was radio, 48 degrees. What did you have?
I had 48 degrees.
48 degrees, so it's a brisk fall temperatures out there today, and they say it's going to get down maybe as low as the high 30s this weekend.
Yeah, I think on Sunday, I believe that's going to be the case. Of course, huge news in college football breaking last night, or I guess yesterday afternoon. Trevor Lawrence has the coronavirus, and of course, he's the #1 pick heading into the NFL draft. Of course, beat Alabama his freshman year, won the national championship, lost in the national championship game last year against LSU. Probably the top player in college football probably in the last decade. Clemson plays Boston College this weekend, which I think they'll probably be able to beat Boston College. But will he be able to play against Notre Dame the next week? And that is huge news because Notre Dame, is undefeated. And a lot of people think they'll give Clemson the best game they'll have in the ACC. If anybody doesn't realize, Notre Dame's actually playing a ACC schedule this year.
I tell you what, it's going to be a great weekend for football, and we've already had a couple of cancellations. A bunch of high school teams are off this week. In fact, only a few. Pike Liberal is playing at Monroe. This is the best chance they've had to beat Monroe in a long time. Enterprise at Navarre Beach, Florida, they're playing down there. Geneva County at Slocum is going to be a big game. They've got that great running back at Geneva County. And Houston Academy, who won a big one last week, playing at Long, and Pleasant Home at Zion Chapel and Rehoboth at Wicksburg. Those are the only games out there.
Yeah, I saw the games you had written down, and that's not many games at all for high school. I guess that's smart if you're a high school coach to have an open week before the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. Bill Rice, we hope to be hearing from him on phone this morning. Mike Amos is normally at Grayton Beach. How's the weather been down there this last week?
Well, we had the hurricane come through. I guess it hit Louisiana, and we were hoping for the best. And actually, we actually got great results from the weather. I mean, we were worried about possibly 5-7 inches of rain, and it only ended up being maybe probably 2 to 3. Got a little windy, especially yesterday when we left, but actually very lucky. I was reading yesterday the Boulder Lodge, the big casino down there in Biloxi, is still closed until Sunday due to some repairs they have to make. So anytime they close those casinos in Biloxi and all that money going on, that's got to be kind of serious.
No question about it. I want to ask you this. Of course, you moved from Birmingham, took your family down to Grayton Beach. One thing about Grayton Beach is it still has that fall and trees and so forth. It's not like a lot of places on the beach, trees and all that, but you're able to see the leaves and things like that, aren't you?
Yeah, we have the beautiful live oak trees. I think we have about 8 of them in our yard or on our property, and yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, the leaves do change.
Yeah, the leaves change, and of course, you've got you know, the beaches and the sand dunes. And I mean, I always say this time of year, it's like the beaches are more like pristine as far as the sand. And I mean, they're always the beautiful white sandy beaches. But, you know, with all the fall breaks going on, you know, I tell my wife all the time, it's just like, you know, it feels like the 4th of July sometimes. Over the last couple of weeks, there's just so many people down there throughout the Southeast, tons of Nashville people, Atlanta, you know, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, tons of Texas people.
Yeah.
Renton, Grayton. So we kind of meet people from all over the place. I actually stop people every once in a while. We're walking around, and I ask, like, where are y'all from? Because I'm always wondering, like, the different groups that come in different weeks down there. So.
Exactly right.
But yeah, it's been a great place to move. We'll be, I guess, living in Grayton now 2 years in March, so it's hard to believe how fast that's happened.
That's right.
I was thinking today, driving over here, I think I've been doing the show with you now for 8 years,
Yeah.
which I'm sure my wife loves every morning for an hour and a half when she's trying to get our girls ready and to go to preschool. And hello to Mary Prater and Millie and my wife Lee this morning. They're probably watching from your house on Crow Hill.
Hey, Mary Prater, and hey, Millie, and hey, Lee. And
you got to see them last night. Thanks to Chick-fil-A for a wonderful meal last night in Troy.
Boy, I had a strawberry milkshake. Ooh, boy, that's the best milkshake I've had in a long time. It's really good.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is consistently good. It's just one of those places that's always, I mean, any town you go to, we always try to find one.
Of course, locally, or I say locally.
I love Crow's too, don't get me wrong. I would have definitely had our Hook's barbecue is always my favorite when I come to town as well.
Yeah, we had some of that this week. It's really good. South Alabama was beaten by Georgia Southern.
Boy, what a game last night. South Alabama played them straight up, took the lead in the third quarter. And then, man, Georgia Southern just basically kind of manned up and dominated the rest of the game.
They're physical up front.
Boy, they are. They're strong. They I don't know how many times they hit that Trotter kid, that quarterback at South Alabama. He's Ozzie Newsome's grandson, I heard. But Campbell's got South Alabama playing better. I think they're turning the corner. Yeah. That's going to be a really tough game for Troy to end the season because they're physical.
Yeah. You know, of course, Wirtz is a good player, but that number 12 is the guy that everybody talks about.
The running back.
But Georgia Southern. We play them next week. The reason so they've got 10 days to work for us. Is that right?
Yeah. You know, strange game last night. I mean, I think South Alabama was only a 3.5-point underdog. They've never beaten Georgia Southern in the history of their program. Of course, Georgia Southern, if they get behind, that's the big issue, is for them to have to come back and try to throw the ball. But if they can keep a game close, you know, eventually that offensive line is going to wear down, you know, that defensive line, and those running backs are going to start finding holes.
You need to spread them out defensively, too. Yeah. You don't need for them to put 8 in the box. They'll beat you. They're a physical team, no question about it.
You know, I was thinking last night, I think South Alabama has been on ESPN, the mothership, 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, they've had a lot of
their exposure has been unbelievable.
Been the best thing in the world for their exposure, no question about it. Everybody knows now where the University of South Alabama is. You know, my good friend Jeremy Ryle, who's the assistant coach at Georgia Southern, left here, was one of the great players of all time at Troy.
And, it needs to go in the Hall of Fame.
I tell you, I hope. I know he's happy this morning, and of course, I'm sure he's looking forward to a huge game next week. I want to say Troy at Georgia Southern. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Troy travels to Statesboro. That's a long trip. You made that trip several times. How many times have you been to Statesboro?
Yeah.
At least about 10?
And believe it or not, Troy has won 3 straight against Georgia Southern. And I would say Georgia Southern next to, you know, you would say South Alabama, Georgia Southern would be Troy's biggest rival, wouldn't you think?
Probably so. Yeah, because, I mean, you don't play Jack State anymore. I mean, I have to admit, living in Birmingham for 17 years, I was a huge fan of that UAB-Troy rivalry.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to start back up here in about 3 or 4 more years. But
we're going to have fun with our scoreboard show today.
Yeah,
and of course
I need to go by Premier and just go look and find me a car, man.
I tell you what, nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody. And, of course, Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. And, of course, today's picks will be just a few moments. Brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass, and they've got a tremendous sale going on right now. Remember, nobody beats a Premier deal, nobody. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you Auburn folks out there, you're starting to turn the corner, my friends. Get ready for the kickoff. It's the Auburn Tigers going head to head, Mike, with a team that seems to play them tough every time. And of course, what's the time on that?
It'll be 2:30 on CBS. Auburn, LSU. LSU is a 3-point favorite. The last time I checked.
Now,
Auburn has lost 3 in a row to LSU, but they've all been pretty close games.
No question about it. And of course, Bo Nix, the quarterback, is ready. He's got to have a great game against LSU. That game, of course, as you mentioned, will be a 2:30, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, 2:30 CBS. That means
That's the mother station.
yeah, that means Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson will be covering the game. I know all the Auburn fans are happy that they won't be playing at 11 o'clock like they normally do.
No question about it, and that's a big
Auburn
game
is
for Auburn.
a 2.5-point underdog, over under 65 in Vegas. Auburn, of course, a lot of people say is very lucky that they won the Arkansas game, very lucky that they won the Ole Miss game. They got some pretty good reviews in those games by instant replay.
Well,
I have to admit, when Bo Nix got the snap and bobbled it and fumbled it, I mean, as soon as that happened and he spiked the ball
it
backwards, I said it was a fumble. And I was like, I don't know who I was sitting with at the time, and I was just like shocked. I was like, how are they not saying that's a fumble? And
he spiked the ball, though, Mike.
I know, but he initially fumbled it, and then he threw backwards, which is like a lateral.
Yeah.
And I kept on saying, why are they not saying this is a fumble? And, of course, I mean, I knew at the time my twin sister, who's the biggest Auburn fan in the world, it would break her heart. You know, I always had to think about her. But, I mean, I felt like that was a horrible call.
Yeah.
And the Arkansas guy recovered it. They said, oh, not enough people, went towards the ball.
It was also,
and they blew the whistle. They blew the whistle.
Inadvertent whistle. That stopped everything. That stopped everything. That put it back in Auburn's hands.
And then the Ole Miss game on the kickoff. I mean, I was watching that, and obviously it hit the guy's finger. And, you don't chase after the ball if you don't think you touched it.
All right, tell us exactly what happened.
Well, I mean, Shavers in the fourth quarter, the score was Ole Miss had just taken the lead, 28-27. So the kickoff guy kind of kicks a shorter kick where he has to go up and field it. And it hit perfectly, like right, probably 5 yards in front of Shavers. Shavers went to pick it up and nicked his finger, rolled into the end zone. The Ole Miss guy recovered it. Shavers, the Auburn running back, is running after the ball because he thinks he fumbled it. And they say that.
So he knew he touched it.
Yeah, so they're saying the SEC ruled that, they checked it out. They didn't think he had touched it. So they said they looked at it, even though they didn't stop play. And, of course, Auburn, got the ball back, scored a touchdown, won the game, went for 2, and won.
And now Ole Miss is a 17-point favorite at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
How would you figure that game?
I don't know. I mean, how in the world Mason keeps his job at Vanderbilt? It's unbelievable. He must have pictures of somebody or something.
Well, Mason came from Stanford.
Yeah, as a defensive coordinator. Was never head coach.
And is a pretty good defensive coordinator. Nobody really romps over Vanderbilt.
Will Muschamp's a pretty good defense coordinator.
Yeah.
Jeremy Pruitt's a pretty good defense coordinator.
Yeah, that's right.
It's different when you're a head coach.
Yeah,
I mean, Chip Lindsey was a real good offense coordinator. I mean, he's got to prove himself as a head coach. I
want to mention our good friends at Troy Regional Medical Center, and ladies and gentlemen, it's a wonderful hospital located on Highway 231 South. We're very fortunate to have a hospital like Troy Regional Medical Center to take care of our people when they're sick. And, of course, a great reputation and a great hospital right here in Troy, Alabama. I want to mention also First National Bank actually First National Bank of Brundage is now Troy Bank and Trust Company, making it a Troy Bank and Trust Company a billion-dollar bank, one of the largest banks in Alabama, and is located in 14 different locations in Central and South Alabama. And of course, we appreciate Troy Bank and Trust Company being the sound financial institution that represents our part of the country. Now with 14 different locations for your convenience.
Yeah, you had John Ramage on, of course, him and Jimmy Ramage, and I guess their dad started that bank, in early 1900s.
Well, the granddad started it.
Yeah, the granddad. Yeah, that was a really good interview that day with John. Of course, they like a little Alabama football as well.
Yeah, no question
His
about
dad
it.
was what, a manager for Bear Bryant?
Yeah, exactly. We had a good conversation yesterday about some of the old Alabama quarterbacks, and it was interesting. And of course, the Ramages, who own most of the stock in First National Bank of Brundage, has sold their shares to the Troy Bank and Trust Company, and now they're all one bank. And with the addition, Troy Regional Troy Bank and Trust Company is a billion-dollar bank. Very few billion-dollar banks in Alabama, I promise you. This is a strong, strong local bank.
Yeah, I think our cousin works for Troy Bank and Trust, Whitney Crow Conrad.
Yes, sir. She's a young lady that came out of Mountain Brook.
Yeah, another Mountain Brook girl marrying a Troy guy.
That's right. That's right. You can't beat a Troy guy, no question about it. On a sad note, went to the Rainey funeral yesterday. Billy, and what a wonderful lady she was. But what a wonderful, wonderful send-off. I don't think you could have had a better send-off from this world than we had yesterday at the First Methodist Church, and I'm sure everybody received a tremendous blessing from that funeral, and really, really well done.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family. Of course, we're waiting on Bill Rice Jr. to call in. We're going to try to start picking some games here for the Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram Trucks picks of the week. Jason Gregory is a great supporter of our show, and of course, we want everybody to go out and support him. Of course, you drive a Ram truck, a beautiful Ram truck that I hope to inherit one day. It's very, very, very nice inside and out. I mean, the technology is through the roof now in these cars today.
And you know, I was talking to the Jeep is also a good vehicle. They sell Jeeps and Chryslers and Dodges and of course Ram trucks. But
that Jeep truck is everywhere down on 38 where I live.
And when I mention acceleration, sometimes the good acceleration can be the difference in life and death. I mean, like you try to pass somebody, and let's say you did make a mistake, and that car coming toward you was coming at a lot higher pace than you thought they were. Is the acceleration? I mean, when you got to have that acceleration to get by another car. You can get it. This is the strongest acceleration I've ever seen in a car like that. The Jeep or Ram trucks, it could save your life. It really could.
Of course, Jason moved down from the Columbus, Georgia area. I think he said he lived in Phoenix City and has given back so much to the community. Is really involved in raising money and helping out, and just a really good quality guy. So thank you, Jason, for what you do here in Pike County.
Of course, in a moment, we'll start our Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram Trucks Picks of the Week, brought to you by Premier Dodge Ram Jeeps and Ram Trucks right here in Troy. And of course, they also have a huge selection of new and used cars and trucks, and they can get you any car you want. If you see a car on a lot, hey, call Jason or one of the people at his sales crew and say, hey, I saw a car I want, can you get it for me? And I guarantee you they can get it for you and at a very good price. So you talking about dealing, nobody deals like Premier, nobody, no question about it. We're going to get started early this morning.
Who won last week?
Well, that
Forrest Lee, Michael Amos.
Forrest Lee.
Dad claims he lost a couple of my picks, which makes no sense.
Exactly right.
Maybe I should start writing down my actual picks every week.
We're going to give one more call in to Bill Rice. We'll be right back.
We can get Forrest Lee in. I guess to call in too.
Hello, folks. This is Greg Anthony, sales manager, bringing you the biggest sales event that we have had all year long. How about a beautiful 2020 Jeep Renegade with discounts over $10,000? Or how about this? Beautiful Ram 1500s with discounts over $17,000. 0% financing for up to 84 months, all in one location.
Hurry to Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or shop us at PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance. Whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies, Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
All right, we're back on.
Back to our show, and ladies and gentlemen, Forrest Lee is on the line. And ladies and gentlemen, it can happen anywhere at any time. You just got to be careful. Forrest Lee has gone in and had some tests done. And what was the results, Forrest Lee?
Well, actually, I ate supper with some friends Saturday night, and we worked very close. I mean, we weren't packed together, but one of the guys called me Monday morning and said that he had tested positive. So it just so happened I started coughing a little bit Monday. So Tuesday afternoon, I called the hospital and got my test Monday morning about Wednesday morning at 9. About 11:30, 11:40, they called me and said that I tested positive. But some of my symptoms were I had a dull headache at times, a little bit of a fever, but I do not have a fever today. And other than that, I've coughed a little bit, sore throat every now and then, but other than sounding congested this morning, I feel pretty good.
Are you under a quarantine or anything like that? Are you staying away from people or what?
Oh yeah, I've been at home. And
So, I mean, do you have the body aches and the headaches and all the other stuff they talk about all the time?
Well, actually, as you reflect back on Monday, I didn't hardly do nothing. I sat in the refiner all day. I just felt lethargic. And I thought it's because I had a long weekend.
Yeah.
And, but it was probably related to COVID. But
You have three or four jobs. How are they getting by without you not working?
I've called everybody that I was in contact with.
Well, you know, you were very nice to call me and let me know of your situation. So I went and got tested, and my test results were negative. So made me feel better. But at the same time, you can be negative one day and positive the next. Isn't that right?
I reckon so. But I feel pretty good, and I did a little bit of work in my shed yesterday.
So how high did your fever get, Forrest? Were you like over 102?
Nope, I was about 99, right at 99, 99.6. But typically I run like a 97 something.
Yeah. All right, Forrest, let's look at how we did last week. And Forrest Lee is right in the middle of this contest that we've got. And I was looking at Jason Gregory's. His tests were on our Pickett show were not very good. He was 12 and 16. So Jason
picked a lot of upsets, I guess?
Yeah, he did. And I was with him when he picked out his scores, and he had to go in move fast. But he's off a little bit this week.
Is Rice really 10 and what was he 17
well,
and
Bill
11?
Rice was 17 and 11, and which was not bad, pretty good performance. And then comes the guy that's putting pressure on everybody is Forrest Lee, and Forrest was 18-10. I was 16-12, and
what about me, man?
And well, I'm looking for you.
There you go.
Here it is, and Michael. Here it is. I got it right here.
Okay.
Michael was also he was 18-10, so we had a tiebreaker.
Let me look at my paper and make sure he graded it right.
Yeah, that's right. Let's look at.
Let's see. I took Pike Lib. Pike Lib lost to Glenwood. Brantley beat Florella. Pike County barely beat Reeltown. Isabella. I don't know if we even talked about that game. That went into overtime. They beat Luverne. I took Abbeville. I don't know why you had me having Long.
Well, Abbeville is really good.
Abbeville beat Long, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I had Abbeville, so I don't know why you put me down for Long.
Well, that was
actually you did put me down, but you put a mark, so I guess you.
That's right. That's right.
I guess I did have Abbeville.
You do have Abbeville.
Of course, UAB lost to Lafayette. That was a big upset. UAB had won 21 straight at home. Wisconsin, Notre Dame, North Carolina. Virginia Tech was the big game. A lot of people lost.
Yeah,
Wake Forest.
That's right.
Had a big win there. Coastal Carolina beat Georgia Southern. Michigan State was another huge game. Got upset by Rutgers. I told everybody that I thought Indiana would play Penn State tough, but I didn't take the game. Penn State lost in overtime to Indiana. Iowa losing to Purdue is another shocking game.
Yeah, and the coach was in the under the.
West Virginia fell to Texas Tech, so Neil Brown lost that game. Texas won. Cincinnati, SMU. I don't know what you got. You got both of them circled for me.
Oh, really? Well,
I took Cincinnati.
Okay.
And then Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Oklahoma, TCU, Memphis, Temple, LSU, South Carolina, South Alabama, La Monroe. I lost Minnesota. I took them against Michigan.
Yeah.
Took Kentucky. So, I don't know. I think I was maybe better than what you had.
Took Ole Miss and.
I think I won. Let's go ahead and say that.
No, we don't want to operate that way. Let's look at the final scores. So Mike lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I had Cincinnati.
No, you had it.
No, I won Abbeville. I didn't pick Long.
Okay.
I would have never picked Long at Abbeville.
See, I was
basically I need to grade my own paper.
Well, I was doing your scores at the same time I was doing mine. So
we'll say Forrest not tied, I guess.
And, that's what we had. Forrest's tiebreaker was 45-21, which was real close.
Yeah, the final score was 48-17. Mine was 38-17.
Mine was 38-17. Who wins that one, Forrest?
Forrest wins it.
On the tiebreaker.
He's closer numbers wise.
All right, Alabama, that's right. So Forrest, you win this week. So
I'll let you win because you have COVID, Forrest.
Congratulations, you win on a tiebreaker. The final score of the game was 48-17, so that was pretty close. Michael was 38-17.
Yeah, I was real debatable if Alabama would get under that number or over that number. That line was 21.5.
Isn't that right? Isn't that way it works with Forrest being?
Yeah, he's closer numbers-wise. The way I look at it, he's 4 off on Tennessee, and he's only 3 off on Alabama. So that's
right.
7.
So
I'm 10 off on Alabama.
Thanks to the tiebreaker, Forrest Lee, you take the lead in this deal. And I did say at one time we would use all of the games, but I think we'll just go back to the way we normally do it with how many people win each week. So it's real close right now. I think everybody has won at least one week, and Forrest Lee, by winning this week, has the lead. Forrest had, and of course that's a meal with your favorite person at B. Gray's if you can win on out, but we got a lot of games left.
Okay.
Forrest Lee calling from the. Are you locked in? How do they do you? Do they lock you in?
He can't go outside. They got him tied to a chair.
I'm in my recliner.
Yeah. Okay, Forrest, get ready, and if you can, let's see. We're going to have Bill Rice we'll have his this afternoon. He'll turn his in.
Trying to find some information on Monroe Academy. Are they undefeated?
They're not having near the year they normally have. They're 6-3, and they play at home to Pike Liberal Arts. Monroe Academy, located, of course, in Monroeville, Alabama, has always had a good team, and especially when they play Pike Liberal Arts. So
they played a team called MEMA. Where's MEMA? MEMA. I don't even know where that private school is.
MEMA.
That's what they're called. Is that Macon East? Macon East Montgomery?
It could be.
I guess that's what Macon East Montgomery is.
Well,
yeah, they played the team that Pike Liberal Arts got beat, Glenwood, and they lost 49-0.
What, Glenwood beat Macon East?
No, Monroe, 49-0.
Oh gosh.
Pike Liberal Arts lost 26-7. I think the game was a lot closer. I'm gonna take Mario White and all the Charles Henderson former players and take Pike Liberal Arts.
Who do you like, Forrest?
I'll take Pike Lib.
All right, I'm going to take, boy, it's hard to go with, but I'm going to take Pike Liberal because of them having a great year this year compared to.
This game is at Monroe?
Yeah, that's right. This game's at Monroe. And we'll take Pike. Everybody takes Pike Liberal in this game?
Yeah, I guess. I'll take them. I mean, Pike Liberal Arts has lost 2 games.
Enterprise was looking for another game to play, and of course, Enterprise coming off a huge win over Auburn High School.
Undefeated Auburn.
Yeah, undefeated Auburn. So Enterprise is playing very good football right now at the right time, and they play at Navarre Beach, Florida. I'm going to go with the Wildcats. I don't think Navarre Beach can beat those boys from Alabama. What do you think?
You know, there's a local connection here. I want to say Brad Rhodes. The former Charles Henderson coach and player and grew up here. I want to say he coaches at Navarre.
He might do it.
I'm going to take Enterprise. If they can beat Auburn, I think they'll probably beat Navarre.
What do you say, Forrest?
I'm going to take Enterprise.
Okay, Forrest Lee takes Enterprise. And okay. Next, Geneva County playing at Slocum. Slocum is having one of their best years ever, and of course they're known for their wonderful tomatoes. They got a pretty good football team, and Geneva County's got the outstanding young running back. They say he's back now, so this should be a good game. But I'm gonna take Slocum at home.
Yeah, Emmanuel Henderson is one of the top prospects in the country. He's only a junior. Rushed for 2,000 yards last year. I know he's been injured this year. Of course, everybody, is definitely, offering him in the Southeastern Conference. It's going to be an interesting game here. You say Slocum tomatoes, I can buy them at the carousel?
That's right, at the carousel, and they're good, too.
In Laguna Beach, Florida. I guess I'll take Slocum.
All right, who'd you like, Forrest?
I'm going to take the undefeated Red Tops.
Okay. All right, now Houston Academy playing at Long, and Long was defeated last week. This Abbeville team must be quite a football team because they are beating everybody they play.
Abbeville's always been known as a great basketball school, but they've had some good football teams over the years as well. Long, of course, is known as the greatest baseball school in the state of Alabama. More state championships at Long than anywhere else.
Of course, Houston Academy is the private school there in Dothan, one of the private schools.
Yeah, they're coached by the great Jamie Riggs that coached at T.R. Miller and won all those games.
And he's got them playing good at the end of the year,
he's
too.
won, I think he's won 320 games.
Yeah.
I'll take G.W. Long, all that said.
How about you, Forrest? Who do you like?
I'm going to take GW.
Okay. Now, here's a good game, a battle of two powerful teams. Should be a good game to watch. Pleasant home at Zion Chapel, and both of them want to go out the season as a winner. I'm going to say Zion Chapel is going to beat them at home. What do you think? I think I'm going to pick Zion Chapel to beat Pleasant home.
Have either one of these schools won a game?
Yeah, I think maybe one or two. Who do you like, Forrest?
I'm going to take Pleasant home.
Okay, Pleasant Home.
You know, I went through Zion Chapel last night, driving from the beach, and man, they had probably 100 cars in their parking lot.
Probably had some kind of fall festival.
It looked like
probably.
they had, you know, volleyball going on or basketball practice going on, and then you look at their baseball facilities out there and softball, and tons of cars are over there. I don't know if kids are
Oh,
playing
it's a great school. It's a
flag
great
football
school.
or what, but there was a lot of excitement going on.
And Mike, Halloween trick or treat,
Yeah.
fall festival. That's probably what they were having, a fall festival.
I'm gonna take Randy Bryant. I know Randy. I know he's struggling this year. Apparently, didn't you say they've lost a lot of players?
Yeah.
I guess I'll take Zion Chapel. I don't really know too much about Pleasant Home. What is it, outside of Andalusia somewhere?
Yep. That's right.
Pleasant Home won one game. They beat Kinston.
If they were playing basketball, I'd probably take Pleasant Home. All right, Rehoboth at Wicksburg, and Rehoboth's had a very good year, and they're trying to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, Rehoboth, Pate Harrison's done a really good job his first year. Of course, you know, Pate was at Dale County, Pate was at Elba. Pate's a pie cap, you know, a lot of people know him from here.
Yeah, exactly right.
Wicksburg, I don't have any clue what their record is this year. I'll take Rehoboth.
Mike takes Rehoboth. All right, everybody takes Rehoboth. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to take Rehoboth.
Before we get over to something else, I was looking yesterday, and we have the how these teams are ranked in the state. Before we leave high school football, I want to mention this. In the Alabama Independent Schools right now, Glenwood remains undefeated and number 1 in the state. Bessemer Academy is number 2 with a 7-1 record. Academy Academy, coached by Hugh Fountain, is ranked 3rd in the state with a 7-1 record. Jackson Academy is 10-0, so they must be pretty good. Patrician 7-1. Chambers, a team that beat.
Where's Patrician? That's a good question.
That's over in West Alabama, over over there near.
Near like Butler and that area?
Yeah, over that area, that general area. And Chambers is 8-1. Of course, they beat Pike Liberal during the regular season. Crenshaw Christian is 7-2. They're ranked 7th in the state.
Yeah, one of those losses is to Pike Liberal Arts.
That's right. Morgan Academy is ranked 8th. Pike Liberal Arts is ranked 9th with a 6-2 record. And Abbeville Christian is ranked 10th with a 7-2 rankings. And they've got Monroe with a 6-3 record. Edgewood with a 6-3 record, or some of the other teams in the association. Now, Forrest, help us with this. They play. They're in the playoffs this weekend. Then next weekend they go to another location, and then in 2 weeks they play at Troy for the state championship. Is that right?
It's the Friday before Thanksgiving.
The Friday before Thanksgiving. All the top 2 teams in each division, that's 1A, 2A, and 3A, play for the championship at Veterans Memorial Stadium right here in Troy. It's a big event that really is good for Troy. In fact, you're taking these 3 schools, or these 6 schools, different schools, which are actually locations. They come to Troy for a big championship game on one game starts at 12, one game starts at 3:30, and the other game starts at 7, all day long for the championship.
You start with the 1A, then you go 2A, and then you go 3A.
But what I like so much about it is that these towns all come to Troy, Alabama to support their teams.
Yeah, you know, it's really a good situation playing in a bigger, 30,000 seat stadium with COVID. You got, so many more places to spread out, and these towns will shut down that day and definitely come over. Hopefully we'll be seeing Pike Liberal Arts here in Troy. That would be a huge crowd, but
that would be good if
I mean, pretty tough if you lose to Glenwood, and they already lost an exhibition to Bessemer Academy, so there's some really tough teams they're gonna have to beat.
Yeah, we're gonna take another short break. Your word from our sponsors. When we come back, I'll tell you who's going to win in college football.
By its very nature, doing big things takes resilience and strength. You did the hard part. You did it, and we'll go farther still. Max is proud to be your champion, removing obstacles that get in your way. We make technology easy, saving and funds access uncomplicated, and provide help when and how you want it. You control your money with expert guidance from Max Credit Union. Smart money made simple.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you were out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
AbbeyLeePhotography.com, I believe.
Back to the show.
Back to our show, brought to you by AbbeyLeePhotographer.com, and located right here in Troy. And of course, Abby, the beautiful cheerleader, mama's beautiful, and I don't know what happened to you, Forrest Lee, but you got a beautiful daughter.
Well, thank you.
And of course, has been in the photography business a long time, and been very successful. Is that right, Forrest?
She's been doing well. She's been doing it for, on and off for 3 or 4 years, but she's been doing it full time since, I guess a good year or so.
She's very good. Of course, AbbeyLeePhotographer.com. AbbeyLeePhotographer.com. Get in touch with her today if you need a professional photographer doing work for you. And we appreciate it. Forrest Lee's.
Of course, this was going to be a big night in Troy at the stadium. Charles Henderson was going to play Brantley. The whole city of Brantley was going to come.
Wouldn't that have been
something? Of course, that game got canceled due to COVID as well. So I know those kids probably were looking forward to that game, considering Charles Henderson had only won one game.
Somebody's got to answer this question. There was a rumor that Brantley was going to play Andalusia, but that was strictly a rumor, so I don't know. What is that? They're going live from Andalusia tonight. It's Brantley against
so they're going to play
Andalusia,
that game.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a planned game. They decided to play.
They decided to play.
Wow.
See, Charles Henderson was going to play Brantley.
I mean, that's credit to Coach Taylor down in Andalusia to play an undefeated Brantley team.
And in fact, Andalusia comes in here ranked.
Is Andalusia ranked too?
Well, not right now. They're not ranked, but they're a very good football team.
Wow, that's really impressive.
I was looking at the state.
Is that going to be the game of the week?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be the game of the week, brought to you live from the Bulldog Stadium, Municipal Stadium in Andalusia. Beautifully renovated stadium. They got the new all-weather playing field. And, last night, the pro game, they were playing on grass. I don't even like to watch a game on grass because you don't have near the speed you
don't think Alabama has speed?
I know they got speed.
You don't think Julio Jones, who had 10 catches for 137 yards, had speed last night?
Is that how many he had?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. They light the blue it again, though. Man, I've never seen a team blow more wins in my life.
The Falcons, they already fired their coach. They fired their GM. I mean, I have a lot of friends in the Birmingham area that, are big Atlanta Falcons fans. A lot of guys, grew up watching them and stuff. And it's time for Matt Ryan. I mean, they just need to trade him. They need to get a new quarterback in. They might trade Julio. They got Calvin Ridley, the great Alabama receiver, on that roster as well. But I would love to see Julio end up with some, team down the stretch in the playoffs for a playoff run.
I want to mention 7A football. Thompson of Alabaster, #1, then Hoover, then Hewitt Trustful, and then Theodore Auburn, who was beaten last week, drops back to 6th. But Andalusia got votes this week, and of course those playoffs start next week.
Andalusia's ranked 10th?
Excuse me? 10th. Andalusia ranked 10th, and that game will be the headline game tonight. I mean Friday night. There are tonight. Andalusia.
So that'll be live on Troy Cable at what time? 7 o'clock.
Played at Andalusia. Ladies and gentlemen,
man, what are you doing? What are you doing tonight, man? Big Mike
We're
Steakhouse?
talking about Brantley and Andalusia.
David's Catfish Cabin. Where are you going, man?
I'll tell you what. Let me just tell you this. That is going to be a great football game.
Why don't you go and just head on down to the beach?
I'm going to the beach. You don't know how my plan is.
No, I'm just saying you go to the game and drive down from Andalusia to the beach.
No, I can't do that. I don't think. I got somebody ordering me around. But let me just say this. That's going to be one heck of a football game. Remember I said this. It's Andalusia playing host to Brantley, undefeated Brantley. Of course, always a good Andalusia team for us. Let's pick that game. Who do you like in that game, as far as Lee? Andalusia and Brantley playing at Andalusia. Andalusia's a 5A team. Brantley's a 1A team. The quarterback for Brantley is a guy named Tucker Kilcrease.
Yeah, apparently Chuck Dunn called into the show one day, and that's Andrew Kilcrease's son.
Yeah, I'm picking Andalusia. I just don't see how Brantley, as good as they are, can go up against an Andalusia team that's real good.
I'm gonna take Brantley. I mean, you're undefeated for a reason. I think they'll find a way to win.
Bart Lee, who do you like, my friend?
Well, I ought to take Andalusia, but I'm going to take Brantley.
Oh, no, to beat Andalusia.
I mean, I just feel like Brantley, you know, I mean, this is a game they've got to be excited about playing.
Oh, I'm sure they are. This is for bragging.
Right down the road.
But a lot of these teams would not have dared to play Andalusia. I mean, to
what
play.
Is this, the Battle of Gant Lake? Is this what this
yeah,
game's called?
that would be good. You're right, the Battle of Gant Lake. But that's going to be quite a game. A lot of folks will be anxious to see. Of course, Brantley undefeated 10-0 or 9-0 against Andalusia, who is ranked number 10, or at least that's the way I've got it here.
And apparently 10. This was not scheduled. Apparently these coaches got together and these schools got together and said, hey, let's play.
It's going to be a good money game.
I mean, I would assume Andalusia has already made the playoffs as well at 6-4.
Yeah.
You would think that would be the case.
Is their record 6-4?
That's what Steve just said.
Well, that's of course they're not having a great year for Andalusia.
Well, that's not a bad year though.
But you're right. They better have their the chin strap buckled tight as they go up against the Brantley Bulldogs. The green and white against the black and the red of Andalusia, playing on artificial turf at Municipal Stadium in Andalusia. It's once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Andalusia Bulldogs playing host to undefeated Brantley.
When did Andalusia get field turf? That's nice.
And for you Brantley people, we consider you, Mike, you said it many times. Titletown, USA goes to Andalusia.
Brantley's been on Troy Cable about as long as anybody.
I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm sure they might have played each other over the years a few times. This is the greatest football game in Brantley history. This is huge, huge, huge for Brantley
you think
to play
it's bigger than a state championship game?
Oh, it's big, though. This is big. You're talking about the David and Goliath, you know. You're talking about a team that's supposed to not be getting much respect when they play a 5A team. And but hey, this is a different cup of tea right here, my friend. This is the Brantley
I tell you
Bulldogs.
what, if it was Robert Ory going against Wesley and Chuck Person in basketball,
right. That'd be
I would be a pretty big fan of that.
And you know what? I wouldn't doubt if one of those persons were not at the game because this is a huge game. The mayor of Andalusia is a good friend of mine. I bet you he'll be at this game. And of course, it just goes to show you the respect that people have for Brantley football, 1A football. And of course, the quarterback this week for Troy University is a young man named Free.
Well, we think that's the case. We don't know for sure.
At Troy is the starting quarterback for Troy. Last week he threw for
outside chance
yards.
Gunnar Watson will play, I would think.
Well, we're gonna find out we'll find out right, well,
Of course,
before it's all over with.
we want to pick our college games. We also want to talk about our great sponsor from here, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram Trucks. Thanks, Jason Gregory, for sponsoring this show.
And before we get going, we've got to mention the big day in Miami that so many people are gonna be watching, because Tua is going to start for Miami in the pro game this week.
And man, I watched the Rams on Monday Night Football, and they are very physical on defense. So
Yeah, they
Tua
are.
better have a quick release. You know, I was listening to Colin Cowherd yesterday, and he said that Saban told all the pro teams he's the closest thing to Drew Brees he had ever seen.
Saban said that?
That's a great compliment, you know, as far as, you know, to his size and his release and his accuracy.
Well, we ought to just give Chan Gailey a ring. You know, he's a good friend of ours. I believe if I called and said they'll say Chan Gailey's office, I said, well, look, this is Mike Amos. And Chan picked it up, and he said, hello, this is Chan Gailey. I said, Chan, this is Mike Amos.
Click.
No, Mike Amos. Don't you remember me? You know, when you were at Troy 30 back in 1984. Don't you remember when you were there and you won a state national championship? Mike Amos. You and I were friends, and my son and your son played ball together and spent the night with each other. And Mike Amos. Don't you remember me from Troy? Mike Amos. Well, I at least appreciate you answering the phone. Bang.
If anybody wants to watch that game, it'll be live on Fox at noon. I'll be traveling back from Birmingham back to the beach. I'm going to have to tell my wife, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to try to find a way to watch it.
I tell you what, it will be one of the most watched pro games in a long time.
I need to call down to Greenville and see if Bates House of Turkey will have a TV in there so I can watch the game. All right, we got Clemson at Boston College. This is our first college game. Of course, Trevor Lawrence, we've already mentioned, has got coronavirus. He's just like Forrest Lee.
Yeah, you know, listen, you're no different than he is, as far as both of you got the...
Let's check in Vegas and see what this line has done, since it is now, you know, the top quarterback in the country is not playing. So this line, this tells you what they think of Boston College in Vegas. This line was at 31.5 and only went down to 27.
Yeah.
So I'll take Clemson. Dad has this game at Boston College, but this is really at Clemson.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
That's right. It sure is at Clemson. I'm sorry about that.
So that's a home game. Forrest, you like Clemson, I guess?
Oh, yeah.
Ohio State at Penn State. This shouldn't be any problem. This game reminds me a lot of Alabama games. They don't, you know, they wish that Penn State could stay with Ohio State. Ohio State will beat them like a yard dog.
Yeah, I watched Ohio State a lot against Nebraska, and it was close early, but man, Justin Fields looks incredible at quarterback. And, you know, unfortunately, this would be a whiteout game. This would be 110,000 fans. I heard they're only letting parents and close friends go to this game.
Isn't that a
so there'll
shame?
maybe be, I don't know, 1,000 people there.
So the whiteout, which would normally be a huge impact, let me tell you something. It was voted, I don't know if you realize this, Penn State was voted the worst, the hardest place to win in college football with the whiteout, and that was a vote they had last week. And you know, it is normally it would be a very, very tough situation for Ohio State, but they'll win going away.
Ohio State's a 12-point favorite, over under 64. This game will be at 6:30 on ABC.
6:30. Okay, Forrest, who do you like?
I'll go with the Buckeyes.
Okay. All right. Now, Notre Dame at Georgia Tech. This surprised me. Notre Dame is only a 20-point favorite in this game. They'll beat Georgia Tech 6 to 7 touchdowns.
You would think that would be the case. You know, Georgia Tech has won a couple games this year. This game will be on ABC at 2:30. The line now is 20. I'll take Notre Dame.
Okay, Forrest, who do you like?
Notre Dame.
Okay, Georgia at Kentucky. Now, at one time, everybody said, well, Kentucky can play them tough. But the way I look at this game is Georgia's going to keep Kentucky from scoring very, you know, just probably 2 or 3 touchdowns at the most. So Georgia should win this game about 2 or 3 touchdowns. What do
Yeah,
you
the
think?
big question is, will Georgia play another quarterback? Will Stetson Bennett be replaced by JT Daniels, the USC transfer? You know, my opinion in this is I'll go with Bennett still, especially against Kentucky. I'll take Georgia. I think Kentucky might give them a game for 3 quarters.
You know what surprised me is Bennett is only 5'9". He's a small quarterback.
They got him listed at 5'11".
Yeah.
So.
All right, who do you like here, Forrest?
You know, I think Kentucky's got to go with a different quarterback too. Didn't their quarterback get hurt?
No, their quarterback just has been playing so poorly. They're going to go with the former Auburn quarterback, Joey Gatewood's going to be the starter.
I'm going to pick Georgia.
Okay. Georgia.
Of course, Sawyer Smith, the former Troy backup, and then, of course, he became the starter because of Caleb Barker's injury. Is 3rd or 4th string now, finishing out his senior year.
Yeah. Okay.
You think that was a good decision to transfer to Kentucky?
I don't think it was.
You know, he got a chance to play when the starter went down last year and had Florida beat. All they had to do was make the field goal, and the guy missed the field goal.
And the rest was history. No question about it. Missouri at Florida. Missouri is playing very good football. Florida's only a 13.5-point favorite. But this is another one where I just think Florida's got way too many athletes. What do y'all think?
Story with this game is COVID issues with Florida. Florida's had numerous guys test positive. They weren't able to even start practice again until Tuesday. Of course, Coach Mullen had COVID as well. Missouri's red hot. You know, they've won 2 games, playing really good ball. This line's 12.5. This game's on the SEC Network at 6:30.
That means it's dropping some, so that means that some people are starting to like Missouri.
I will take Florida, but I like Missouri in the points.
Okay, Forrest, who do you like, my friend?
I'm going to go with the Gators.
Okay, Coastal Carolina at Georgia State. Coastal Carolina, how can the team become so good in such a short period of time?
Well, they had a billionaire that was the head coach.
Yeah. So he bought all these
amazing
players.
story. You know, we talked about this before. Of course, he battled cancer and had to step aside. And the former Charleston Southern coach, he brought in to be the head coach. Of course, they beat Troy last year. They're undefeated this year. And I'll tell you what, I was watching Georgia Southern last night. They're pretty physical. They beat Georgia Southern last week with their 2nd-string quarterback and won 28-14.
Yeah.
You're a big Georgia State fan, though. What are you going to do here? You think they're really talented?
I look at it as an upset here. I'm going to take Georgia State. Who do you like here, Forrest?
I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina.
I don't know if Coastal Carolina start quarterbacks coming back. That would be a big thing for you to find out here in this game. This game is very, the line is, low. 2.5. Coastal being undefeated.
Yeah.
Georgia State's lost twice.
Coastal Carolina was very impressive against Troy. It really was.
No, Georgia State. You mean
Georgia State. What am I talking about?
11 a.m. kick on ESPNU. I'm going to go with Coastal. I can't pick against them yet.
Yeah. Before we get going on the rest of this, and we've got plenty of time. One of the reasons, the Sun Belt Conference has really surprised me tremendously. What I'm saying is, if there is a weak link in the conference, it's got to be who?
Well, we talked about this yesterday. You had to still say it's Texas State and La Monroe.
Texas State and La Monroe.
I'll be honest. If Troy doesn't start playing better, it could be Troy by the end of the season.
So Troy has this game at Arkansas State this week. Then next week they go to Georgia Southern. Then the next week they play Coastal Carolina. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's all right.
And then the next week after Coastal Carolina they play.
I can pull it up.
Wait a minute.
There's one of your 5,000 magazines.
That would be. Oh boy.
Well, we know they're going to finish the season with La Monroe in South Alabama.
In Middle Tennessee, yeah.
So I think after Coastal's Middle, and then after that, I think it's a horrible trip to Appalachian State.
Yeah, and then out state.
I mean, it's a great trip, but it's going to be tough to have to beat them up there.
And there's going to be several big games left, but it's just no easy ride for Troy. It really is.
Yeah,
not.
I mean, I looked at it the other day, and I mean, I'll be honest, I see maybe 6-6. I can see Troy being 5-6.
And if we can win at
going into
least
South
6
Alabama
games, if we can win at least 6 games, and they still have the bowl games, we'll have a chance to get in a bowl game, hopefully.
I mean, I am shocked that Troy is only a 2.5-point underdog at Arkansas State.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I think that's one of the more stranger lines. It makes you wonder, does Arkansas State have some COVID issues? They have some injury issues. I mean, does that mean Gunnar Watson's going to play? Chip Lindsey doesn't have to tip his hand until the game.
Exactly. We're going to take a short break. It is 8 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Hopefully they're in school. We'll be back.
Hello, folks. This is Greg Anthony, sales manager, bringing you the biggest sales event that we have had all year long. How about a beautiful 2020 Jeep Renegade with discounts over $10,000? Or how about this? Beautiful Ram 1500s with discounts over $17,000. 0% financing for up to 84 months, all in one location.
Hurry to Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or shop us at PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa know-how. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa know-how team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Again, the big game tonight, and I mean it's a big game. I don't care what anybody says. It's Andalusia playing host to Brantley live on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, across the world, across the nation, and across the world on Facebook. It's coming to you live from Andalusia, Alabama. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. It's Andalusia Bulldogs against the Brantley Bulldogs, the mean green of Brantley. Against the mean red and black of Andalusia. Forrest, who do you like? You like Andalusia in this game?
He took Brantley.
Well, Brantley, what did I say?
All right, we got college games. We got Texas at Oklahoma State. Will Oklahoma State lose their first game?
Well, look, how in the world can we bypass LSU and Auburn?
I thought we always pick those the last three.
Let's go ahead and pick them now. Let's pick them now. LSU at Auburn. And, hey, everybody's getting ready. What do you think, Forrest Lee?
I'm going to pick LSU.
Let us know. The Auburn Tigers going head-to-head with LSU, the defending national champion. This game is a 2:30 kickoff on CBS. It's a big one. It's Auburn and LSU. Who do you like? Who do you like? Go Auburn and Albee.
You got Finley playing quarterback for LSU. You know, he's a redshirt freshman, I believe.
Yeah. Is he any good? He's big, I hear.
Well, I mean, they blew out South Carolina 52-24. Auburn lost to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Brennan, it looks like he's not going to be back for a couple more weeks. The LSU starter. Of course, his family owns all the Brennan restaurants. So
are you serious?
Yeah, he's a multi-millionaire regardless what he does in life. Let's see. Auburn has squeaked by Arkansas, squeaked by Ole Miss. LSU has won 3 straight, but I'm going to say Auburn finds a way and beats LSU.
They do have that way about them, don't they? They are hard.
I just feel like
to beat.
LSU is still not a very good defensive team. I think Auburn will score enough points, and I think Auburn has the better defense of the two as well. So I'm going to take Auburn to beat LSU, and Auburn's actually a slight underdog.
All right, I got Auburn losing the football game to LSU 28-24.
We're supposed to pick a score?
Yeah, 28-24.
I'll say Auburn wins 31-28.
The tiebreaker was the difference last week, and Forrest Lee ends up winning. Who do you like, Farley?
I'm going to say LSU 35, Auburn 21.
Okay, 35-21. That's high scoring, and there's no question about it. LSU to win?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, Forrest Lee, and he's good at this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm taking LSU 28-24. I'd like to go to this game. If I could get tickets, I'd go to this game.
Well, there'll only be about 18,000 people there, so these tickets are tough
Somebody
to get.
throw me a bone, and I'll go to that game. Texas at Oklahoma State.
You'll give somebody $100 for a ticket, won't you?
I know, man. What's $100 for a good football game? Texas at Oklahoma State. Here's my upset special of the week. I'll tell you, I'm going to take Texas to beat Oklahoma State. That's my upset special. All right.
I mean, Texas
like?
probably played their best game against Baylor last week. Tom Herman's on a tremendous amount of pressure. I mean, this guy was supposed to, change things around. I'm going to go, I'm a man, I'm 40. I like Oklahoma State. They got a good defense as well. I'll take Oklahoma State.
That's going to be a good football game. Now, this could propel Oklahoma State into a situation that they might end up being in the Final Four.
Yeah, they got a chance. Our next door neighbors in Grayton are from Tulsa, and they're huge Oklahoma State fans. And I kind of keep up with Oklahoma State a little bit through them.
How good is Tulsa? Are they any good?
Yeah, Tulsa beat UCF.
Yeah, I know. What, they beat UCF?
Yeah, Central Florida this year.
Oh, gosh, they are pretty good.
Of course, Texas has got a great quarterback, Sam Ehlinger. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the upset happened here.
Okay.
I'm going to take Oklahoma State.
All right, y'all taking Oklahoma State. Texas is supposed to have the great quarterback. They're supposed to have the best young coach and all that. But I'm taking Texas to win. They need, like you said, they need a win here bad.
Yeah, this game will be on Fox at 3 o'clock if anybody wants to watch it.
All right, we got another big one coming up.
Oklahoma State's only a 3.5-point favorite as well.
Yeah, that's right, playing at home. All right, my second upset special of the week has Houston beating UCF. I'm going to take Houston to beat University of Central Florida.
So is UCF the favorite?
UCF is the favorite, yeah, by a small margin.
Man, this is a tough game to pick. Houston's only losses to America's team, BYU.
Wait a minute. What are you saying? America's team?
They led BYU by 3 touchdowns, I think, at one time, or at least 2 touchdowns. Man, this is a tough game to pick. Who you like, Forrest? I'm going to have to think about this one.
Forrest Lee.
I'm going to take UCF.
I'm going to take Houston. Dana Holgerson, his amazing hair. Dow was talking about over-unders. How about this, guys? 82.5.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know if I've ever seen 82.5.
The 82.5, that is unreal. I would go under that if I was a betting man. I'd go under 82.5.
That means 41-40, and you're under.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's an unreal game. No question about it. TCU at Baylor. And my TCU guy sort of folded last week. Oklahoma just ran roughshod over them, Mike.
Yeah, I know. I was not impressed with TCU at all. But, Baylor, I think they've already lost twice. And, Dave Aranda, first-year head coaches always struggle. I don't know why. That's the case. Only guy I know that didn't struggle was Malzahn when he was at Auburn his first year.
Yeah. Who do you like, TCU or Baylor?
I'm going to take Baylor.
How about you, Forrest Lee?
I'll take the Bears.
I tell you, it's hard for me to go against Patterson. I'm going to take TCU.
Boy, TCU looked awful. I don't know how you can say that after last week.
All right, well, okay.
I I mean, really. I mean, I watched some of that game. I mean, Oklahoma should have beat them a lot worse than the final score.
Well, you gave Jason the little
33 to 14.
Exactly.
I was I've got a buddy in Birmingham, a guy named Jeff Green, and he has 2 daughters at TCU. He says it's
Texas
great.
Christian University.
Says it's a great school.
Yeah, it is. Really is.
You got to battle Michigan. Michigan State fell to Rutgers last week. Mel Tucker, former Alabama assistant, former Georgia defense coordinator, got off to a bad start. Michigan looked phenomenal against Minnesota.
They sure did.
Man, this is an easy pick.
Let me tell you something.
I'm taking Michigan here.
Let me tell you something. Michigan State turned the ball over 7 times.
Yeah.
How can you turn the ball over that way and not lose like that? I'm thinking this game's going to be a little closer. It's 24.5 points. I've got a feeling that green and white for over the years has always been a good defensive team. They'll watch Michigan go ahead and run roughshod over them, but I'm going to take Michigan to win the game, but that's going to be closer than people think.
I'll say one thing. It's going to be extremely cold up there for this game.
Yeah,
of course,
you're
we
right.
have my first cousin Sally's daughter, Emily, goes to Michigan. So they always are posting stuff about Michigan on
And
Facebook.
what is the most notable thing about the Michigan coach?
He wears khakis.
Wears khaki pants, and they're going to change their nickname to the khaki pants.
Yeah. Yeah, Harbaugh's been a very average college coach. He actually was better when he was at Stanford than he's been at Michigan.
Let me tell you a story, and you'll, Forrest, you can help me with this. There was a young man in Troy, Alabama, who was assistant coach at Charles Simpson High School, big old boy. He got to know the coaching staff at Michigan when they started recruiting some players from Prattville. And this guy got to be friends with the head coach at Michigan. And when the coach from Michigan would come down, he would take off his shirt and play with his khaki pants on, and he would just play touch football with those guys, back and forth, back and forth. Y'all know the name of the coach?
Antonio Bam Richards.
No, the other coach, the head Michigan coach.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. Well, one of the guys that was helping him with the camp was a guy named Antonio Bam Richards, who went to school right here at Charles Henderson High School. Well, the coach liked him. He said, well, how would you like to come coach with me at Michigan? And by doing that, he could help recruit these players from Alabama. And it lasted for a little while, but Bam Richards was on the staff at Michigan for 2 or 3 years. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, last time I heard Bam was head coach at a little school, Lochapoka, I think.
Yeah,
maybe?
that's right. Do you remember that, Forrest, him going to Michigan? That was a great opportunity for him, wasn't it?
It was.
So everybody likes Michigan, I guess?
I picked Michigan.
Okay, let's move right on.
We got Northwestern at Iowa. Northwestern looked very impressive against Maryland. Of course, Maryland was starting Tagovailoa. Iowa lost to Purdue.
Yeah, I know it. And Northwestern's supposed to be loaded, but they're playing at Iowa. It's hard for me to take Northwestern. I'm going to take Iowa.
I'll take Iowa as well.
You will over Northwestern. Okay, who do you like here, Forrest?
I'll pick Iowa.
Forrest Lee takes Iowa.
Iowa's a 2.5-point favorite.
All right.
All right, you got Virginia Tech, who played horrible last week at Louisville, and Louisville destroyed Florida State. I don't know what to think of Virginia Tech. I'm having a hard time picking them all season.
And it's really not fair because one week they had 30 players that didn't even dress. You know, I mean, how in the world can you figure that, you know?
I mean, 3.5-point favorite.
I think Louisville's going to beat them. In Louisville, coached by the great kid that used to coach Appalachian State.
Yeah, Scott Satterfield.
I'm going to take Louisville.
Golly, man, this
Who
is
do y'all
the
like?
toughest game to pick there is.
Virginia Tech.
All right, you took, Forrest took Virginia Tech.
I'm going to go with Forrest. I'm going to take Virginia Tech.
All right. How about Oklahoma at Texas Tech now? Oklahoma, this is another situation sort of like Alabama. Everybody said, oh, Texas Tech's going to play them tough, I'll tell you how tough they're going to play them, about 55 to 21, 28, something like that.
Yeah, Texas Tech beat Neil Brown in West Virginia, and boy, I imagine those West Virginia fans are sick over that loss. Let's see.
This is a no-brainer. Mike, how in the world are you going to take Texas Tech over
I was trying
Oklahoma?
to find the line, but I'll take Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's 14 points. And but I tell you what, Texas Tech can score, but they can't keep anybody from scoring. Okay, who do y'all like there? Okay. Oklahoma. All right, Arkansas at Texas A&M. Here's another one that everybody just thinks that the world is beating toward Arkansas. I believe that Texas A&M will beat them 3 or 4 touchdowns. I'm taking Texas Tech in a big way.
You got to be shocked about what Sam Pittman's done in Arkansas. This game will be on the SEC Network at 6:30. I'll take A&M. I think A&M will cover the 12.5.
I do too. I do too. Arkansas is good, but they can't play with A&M yet, I don't think.
I pick A&M.
Okay, so did.
You know, it's one of those situations, though. You know, Arkansas could have 3 wins. Yeah, I mean, that Auburn game could have easily went their way.
It sure could have, no question about it. Okay, UAB at Louisiana Tech. Who in the world knows anything about UAB? And who in the world knows anything about La Tech?
I mean, when UAB played South Alabama and they brought in that backup quarterback, they looked like one of the better teams, you know, non-Power 5 in the country.
What happened to him?
Well, I mean, he just hasn't been playing well ever since.
Okay.
Lafayette, you know, he threw 2 horrible interceptions and they lost at home. And on the road at La Tech, I mean, they're 12.5 point favorite. I like UAB to win, but I don't think.
Why do they like them so much?
I don't think they'll cover that 12.5.
Yeah, I know it. It surprises me. Of course, Skip Holtz is the coach at La Tech, and you know, his daddy was a legendary coach. I'm gonna take UAB, but on the hair, by the hair of a chinny chin chin. You ever heard that slogan, Forrest?
I have.
Who you like? Who you like, Forrest?
I'm going to take UAB the Blaze.
All right, Forrest takes UAB. All right, let's go quickly to Ole Miss at Vanderbilt. I have no idea about this. And people say, God, they're playing Vanderbilt. Yeah, they're playing Vanderbilt, but this is a perfect situation for Vanderbilt. You know what I mean?
Man, Ole Miss is due, though, to blow somebody out with that offense. I'll take Ole Miss. I think they'll cover as well. 17
points?
Yeah, I think this
Playing at Vanderbilt. What makes Ole Miss 17 points better than Vanderbilt?
I mean, Vanderbilt just gets blown out by everybody that plays.
Who do you like here, Forrest?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. I reckon I'll take Ole Miss, but, you know, I'm not crazy about them, you know. Okay, everybody takes Ole Miss. Yuppieville. All right, here's a good one here. And I might take them, and I think I will take them. Indiana at Rutgers. I'm going to take Rutgers to beat Indiana at Rutgers. Anybody like that?
Well, I mean, Greg Schiano was really good at Rutgers before, and he's back as a head coach. You know, he's a proven winner. So Rutgers maybe will turn their program around. I know off that huge upset win, but I'm going to have to take Indiana.
You know, I love Sister's Restaurant. What a great meal today, starting around 11 o'clock. Their food is outstanding at Sister's.
Yeah, I wish they were open right now. I'd literally get in the car and drive there.
And Jean's Flowers, they can send flowers anywhere in this world, and they're great people, Martha Lynn, and all the great folks there, and we appreciate them very much. All right, who else is going to go with me on Rutgers?
I can't do that yet.
Okay, all right, y'all take Indiana, is that right?
Should we take one more commercial break and finish up these last 4?
We will. We got plenty of time. We will take a break right now. Brought to you by the great folks, and I talk about great chicken and great hamburgers. They're delicious right now.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Hello, folks. This is Greg Anthony, sales manager, bringing you the biggest sales event that we have had all year long. How about a beautiful 2020 Jeep Renegade with discounts over $10,000? Or how about this? Beautiful Ram 1500s with discounts over $17,000. 0% financing for up to 84 months, all in one location.
Hurry to Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or shop us at PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance. Whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies, Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Back to our show, brought to you by Town and Country Flooring. Good friends Scott and Lana Hartley. When it comes to floor covering, they got you covered, no question about it. And of course, we appreciate Town and Country Flooring being a long-time supporter of our show. And also Circle Insurance in Ozark, Sam Judah. Great people, a huge insurance company in Ozark and Dale County, and we appreciate them very much.
They had two great athletes, Becca Hartley, and then their son was on the state championship baseball teams at Charles Henderson, the Town and Country.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. And
I remember watching them.
How about all three of them winning the Teal Awards, too? That was something, too.
Oh, wow.
I want to mention a big game in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's undefeated, playing Memphis. But, you know, Memphis has been beating folks, but they ain't been beating anybody like Cincinnati. Cincinnati will hit you in the mouth.
They got a really good athletic, really good athletic dual threat quarterback as well. Named Ritter. Luke Fickle's done a great job. Yeah.
Luke Pickle, the former Ohio State coach, has really turned that program around. I'm going to take Cincinnati. How about you, Forrest?
WKRP, Cincinnati.
I remember that show.
Okay.
I'll take Cincinnati as well, but Memphis, beat UCF. Their only loss is by 3 to SMU. This is going to be a really good game. I tell you, the American Conference has some really good football teams.
They really do.
I'll take Cincy, though. I'm trying to find that line.
All right, now.
That might be one of the best games of the weekend.
Each of the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've said that North Carolina's not for real, not for real. Well, they keep beating people and beating people. They're a 6.5-point favorite at Virginia in Columbia. Virginia plays good when you least expect it. I'm going to take North Carolina, but Virginia's liable to give them fits.
Yeah, if anybody wants to watch that Cincinnati-Memphis game, great game. It's going to be 11 a.m. on ESPN, so I look forward to watching that tomorrow when I wake up. Actually, I'll be up at about 6 in the morning.
Well, let's just say this. I get up early, and your little children were walking up the steps from my basement this morning.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful to have just sweet little children like that.
They're amazed by my mom's antiques and artwork everywhere. There's a lot to look at.
A lot to look at in my house.
The Amos house. Of course, Dad's got his big jukebox downstairs and got about a 70-inch television that I really enjoy. I watched the Georgia Southern South Alabama game last night. North Carolina had a horrible loss at Florida State, and that's their only loss of the season. And Mac Brown, what can you say? He's done a tremendous job. He's almost 70 years old, coming back and coaching at North Carolina again.
He had a brother that was more famous than he was for a long time, Watson Brown. You remember him?
He was a better athlete player, but wasn't near as good of a coach. Yeah. But I'll take North Carolina. I think this will be a real close game.
Something.
Who do you like, Forrest?
Forrest, who do you like?
Carolina.
Okay.
North Carolina.
It's the battle of the Yuppies.
This game will be on the ACC network at 7 tomorrow night. North Carolina is now a 7-point favorite.
All right, Mississippi State at Alabama. What time, Mike? 2:30?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at night. Okay, on what network?
ESPN.
ESPN. So that's that's the mother station. Is that right?
The mothership is what I like to call it. Yeah.
Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. That line started off at 30. Actually, at one time it was 32, and continues to go down. A lot of people think Mississippi State's going to play Alabama tough as far as scoring.
Yeah, Mississippi State has had 5 players lead the program over the last couple of weeks. 2 or 3 were starters. One of them was one of the top running backs in the SEC, Colin Hill. So he's gone. He's getting ready for the NFL draft. You know, first-year coaches have to do this. You know, your players have got to buy into what you believe. And, you know, Leach is a quirky, kind of eccentric coach, I would say, to say the least. Of course, Dad's a big fan of Leach. He likes him on the radio.
Yeah.
Alabama, I would say they'll be around this number. I mean, I think they'll probably come close to covering 31. I can easily see a score, you know, 50 to 20. So I don't know what to pick here. I like Alabama to win big, but I don't know if they'll cover the 31. That's a lot of points.
You know, of course.
Alabama 48 to 17.
So you're picking the exact same score they beat Tennessee by.
All right, but
that's not a bad idea. I'll go the same route. I'll take Alabama like 50, 52 to 30.
All right, 50. We haven't even been using them as a tiebreaker.
Well, I know. I'm just saying what I think the score will be.
Yeah.
I'm trying not 52 to 30 actually, 52 to 20.
It's going to be a high-scoring game. Of course, everybody takes Alabama to win that game. Troy at Arkansas State, and
I mean, let's be honest. Is Troy man enough to go in there?
Yeah, I know it.
And beat Arkansas State at Arkansas State? Arkansas State's 3-2.
Yeah, let me tell you something about Arkansas State. Out of all these teams, and of course, you know, in the conference, there's some pretty hard-nosed teams. Louisiana always is pretty good.
Yeah, they're always.
And Georgia
physical.
Southern showed that they're a little tough and all that. But listen, nobody's any tougher than Arkansas State, especially when they play at Arkansas State. They're the tough bunch. I mean, they're coach tough. And of course, you know, they take a lot of pride in winning at home. They don't like Troy. They'll never like Troy. They don't like Troy. And what they'll do is hit Troy right in the mouth. I'm talking about right in the mouth. If Troy can pull this off,
It'd be the biggest win in Chip Lindsey's history.
Yeah, I believe that too. I believe it would be one of his signature wins, and I'm going to take Troy in but it is going to be tight. If Troy can go to Arkansas State and win, they can go anywhere. They can win anywhere.
You know, they'll be 4-2 if they win the game, but I mean, I think Vegas, I don't know. It makes me want to wait and see what's happening at game time, because I got to think there's COVID issues or some kind of injury issues we don't know about Arkansas State. And then Gunnar Watson, you don't know, is the Troy starter going to play, or is the kid from Brantley, Jacob Free, going to play? Troy's running game has been atrocious the last couple of weeks. Got to find a running game. I don't know if you start playing DK Billingsley more. I don't know if you start playing Charles Strong more. I think this number is crazy. I think Arkansas State should be 10-point favorite.
I do too.
Maybe even a 9-point favorite, and this is 2.5.
Yeah.
Your house. I'm talking about bet your house on Arkansas State. That's how much I like Arkansas State to beat Troy. I hate to say it. I'm a huge Troy fan and love them more than anybody, but the line here is extremely strange.
Something is strange. Of course, they've got 2 of the top quarterbacks in the country.
I mean, you got the Bonner kid and the Hatcher kid that transferred from Alabama. I mean,
and then they got that big old nose guard that everybody can't block.
I mean, I hope I come on Monday morning and I said, you know, I'm completely wrong, but this is a very extremely weird line.
I tell you how much I like the game is. I got Troy 42, Arkansas State 38. And the over-under here is 71.5.
I mean, I like Arkansas State 48, maybe Troy 34. I mean,
Did you hear that? 71.5 is over-under right there.
I mean, I picked Georgia State last week, and unfortunately I got to go Arkansas State this week.
All right, Forrest, who do you like? Tell us who you like, my friend.
I got Arkansas State 28, Troy 24.
Wow, that's a low-scoring game.
That is low-scoring, that sure is. Well, Forrest, you're going to have to watch the game under quarantine. How many TV sets you got set up? Or they move you out to the shed? They probably moved you out to the shed, didn't they?
I got one TV in the living room.
All right, if you want to leave Forrest some money, just leave it in some food. Just leave it in the front yard or in his mailbox. Drop something by the seat, Forrest. Is that okay, Forrest? We love you, buddy.
We want to thank Jason Gregory, Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Trucks, for sponsoring the show this week. Everybody go out there.
Great people.
And buy a vehicle from Jason. They got a great inventory out there right now. Of course, Dad, I enjoyed being on set with you live.
Yeah,
it's
sure
always
is.
fun to be back home.
Here's the guru himself, ladies and gentlemen, the future.
Yeah, I actually, people always think I'm looking at the computer and looking at the screen. It's right here. It's right here. Mike Amos used to be like this when he was 44 years old too. So.
Oh boy, you're exactly right. Hope you've enjoyed our show. And for you Auburn Tigers against LSU, we're gonna do it one more time. War Eagle. War Eagle, and here comes the Crimson Tide of Alabama.